So you guys are probably wondering, Slim, how did you build this deck so fast with the ban list just dropping a couple days ago, and everyone's kind of in a tizzy, like trying to figure out what the best decks of the formats are. How did you bring MEKK-KNIGHT INVOKED to the table so quickly? Well, to tell you the truth, you guys, it wasn't that hard, and I have you guys to actually thank for that. So what's going on, you guys? That's right, this is version 1 of our new updated MEKK-KNIGHT Invoked list. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing. Be sure to hit that notification bell. You guys will be notified whenever I upload, as well as whenever I live stream. I've been live streaming a lot lately, almost daily. I'm like falling in love with it. It's so much fun to get on live stream and just interact with you guys. If you guys tuned into my last live stream, I actually built this deck with you guys, and we tested it out, and it tested pretty well. And this being version 1, it's an early preliminary build that we can use, very similar to the Maju Danger deck. I want to give you guys simple deck lists to start with, and then as the format progresses, we make some changes, changes to the main deck, the extra deck, whatever. And that way I feel like if this is a deck you really want to pick up, this is a good starting point, and then you can of course make changes as the format progresses. But yeah, I absolutely love this deck. Hopefully you guys do too. We'll get through it. The beauty of this deck is that you don't have to overcomplicate it. You can pretty much keep it the same way that I have been playing it for the last couple events and whatnot. You guys will see through explanations how the deck hasn't really changed that much. But obviously with a couple hits that went on the ban list, we have to abide by that. But it gave us more room to play some other cards. So anyways, we'll start with the basics. Of course, triple Alistair. You guys already know this is one of my favorite cards in the game. This card just does everything. One card Macabre is insane. Just having the invoke monsters is fantastic. Alistair being a one card engine is ridiculous, so that's standard. So the MEKK-KNIGHT engine, I chose to actually go with the heavier route, just like we did at the UDS and at the 3v3 YCS. So we start, of course, with triple purple. It'll always be triple purple. I'll never play less than 3. I think that's incorrect. I think this card just has to be played at 3. It's so strong. Being a wind-up rabbit, being able to search whatever you need, being able to dodge so many cards is fantastic. Plus, being able to bluff your opponent, set a lightning storm, make a column, special purple, spin purple away, and then activate lightning storm, just so you can get a free monster, just so you can get purple into play is great. Triple blue. So this was the thing that I played at the UDS and then the YCS when Johnny and I played the same deck card for card. So the reason why we're playing the heavier MEKK-KNIGHT lineup is we are playing Morningstar and we are playing the World Legacy Secret in the deck. I think both those cards are really strong, and for this preliminary build, I wanted to test them out to see if I really like them. Morningstar is easy to make. Being able to get access to the trap is important too, because it is a monster reborn. It can revive Macabre, which is huge. So there were a lot of reasons why I actually wanted to play it. Comboing it with the next MEKK-KNIGHT, which is of course Indigo Eclipse, is insane too, because the basic way you do the combo is you go to Morningstar, you discard the Eclipse, you get the trap, you set the trap, then you can flip Legacy, on your opponent's turn, put this on the board and put it wherever you need it to be, and its quick effect to move makes it so that you can just turn off every monster your opponent plays. So I really liked it. That's why I play it, and I'm still playing Yellow. Yellow's been an all-star. If you guys watch that game on stream that I played with one of my subscribers, shout out to you taking the time to play test against me. It was awesome. Yeah, Yellow Star was nuts. It's just able to pop a back row, which everyone forgets. You just set it up so easily. You summon blue, search it. I was able to search 2 with blue. You get to the yellow. I linked Alistair and blue into Cross Sheep, and then I summoned this, popped a card. It was just insane. These cards were nuts. So that's the MEKK-KNIGHT lineup. I believe it's 8 MEKK-KNIGHTs. It's a little heavier than the standard, which I would always play, but I feel that since we are playing Morningstar in the trap, we can afford to play just a couple more MEKK-KNIGHTs. People ask me about playing red. I prefer yellow just because of the back row decks. That's just personal preference, but it may change in the future. Of course, the 2 Gamma Seals, so this is something that hasn't really changed. To be honest, I really wanted to play 3, but I didn't want this deck to go over 42, so I know it's a little odd, but 42 is a sweet spot for me for this deck. It always has been ever since I played the deck. 42 just works for me. Don't ask me why. It's a very odd number, but it works. And 2 Gamma Seal is great. You still want to be able to break boards, and this just lets you do it. It also helps set a column wherever you want it, so I feel there's no reason not to play Gamma Seal, plus it's the weakest one. Then to the hand traps. So the hand traps, obviously we lost Droll and we lost Phantasme, so I cut Phantasme for the time being because I felt that, we look at all the decks of the format, the only deck that really links summons a lot is Salamangreat, and a lot of these decks like True King Dinos, Shaddoll's, all of them, they don't really have to link summon to get their plays off. So I talked to you guys on stream about this. This is what we decided on. So this was the hand trap we all decided on.
It's a pretty standard lineup, to be honest. I actually like the lineup a lot. So we've got, of course, Triple Ash Blossom, very standard, very generic, good against pretty much every deck, good against Rogue, which I think is important. I think we're going to see a lot of Rogue decks like we always do in the beginning of a format. Even if it's an online format, we're still going to see it. My homie, of course, Triple DD Crow. I had to play 3 of this. It's one of my favorite hand traps. It has been all last format, this format, even starting out. Card is so strong. Just being able to crow anything is fantastic. I think it's really good. There's so many cool plays you can do with this. Like, believe it or not, crowing a Miscellaneous Source is huge. It turns off the ability for them to summon more cards from the deck, so I really like that. DD Crow has just been very strong for me, so it's really good against Salad. It's really good against any version of Orcus that's going to come back. It's good against just pretty much everything, so I felt like you had to play it. And then the last hand trap that I decided to play in this deck, out of all the other ones, I thought about Nibiru, I thought about Phantasmic, but in the end I went with the Gamma Driver package. So the reason is I feel it's a little more generic. It can hit more things. The problem with Nibiru, so there's 2 problems. Trap decks don't ever play into Nibiru. Good players know how to play around Nibiru, and several decks can play through Nibiru. So for those reasons, I chose to omit it from the main deck this time around, but it might change going forward. I felt that these hand traps were generic enough to just get the job done. They just literally get the job done. Ash is generic, Crow can hit anything, and this can hit anything. And the beauty of Gamma Driver is that they can't call by the grave it. If they Ash it, then try another monster effect, you do it again. It's really strong. So I felt that it was just one of the best options. Also, really good if you say you draw Gamma and then you just say you go Meltdown, they Ash it, you chain Gamma, the game's like pretty much over. You get 2 monsters on the board and you just start, clearing away your opponent's resources and you just win. So that's it for the monsters. Onto the spells, just some really standard stuff. Of course, 3 Meltdown. You would never play less than 3. Not in this build, at least. You need to play it. Same thing with 3 Invocation. Still no Book of the Law. I know you guys are still going to argue for Book of the Law. I haven't needed it. I really haven't needed it. I haven't felt a need for it. I've never missed it. I never wanted it in any situation, so I felt that this was the best lineup I could do, and Triple Invocation was perfect, so I was very happy with that. Also, we played Desire, so you have to play Triple Invocation. Another reason, too, is you want to hard draw Invocation as much as possible. If you can do that, like, you're good to go. They Ash your Alistair, Veiler your Alistair, and Permanent your Alistair. You can just keep going with Invocation, and they just go -1, so it's great. And then, of course, I got to play Triple Lightning Storm. There's no reason not to. You need to play this card. Back row decks are a problem. You need bomb cards against those decks, and this is a bomb card, one of the best bomb cards against them. Also very good as a Raigeki effect because everyone forgets it, so we're definitely playing 3 of that. I got the 2 copies of Desires. I don't like 3 in this deck. 2 has been the sweet spot. 2 has always been good for this deck. 3 is just not needed. I don't think 3 is needed unless you really want to see it. Like, yes, the +1 is important, but so far for me, it hasn't been an issue. I think 2 is honestly the perfect number, so I've had no issues with that. On to the 1-ofs. So yeah, unfortunately, both these cards are at 1. Sucks. We would be playing them at 3 and 2, what they were on the last list, but... So, everyone is asking me, do I feel Instant Fusion is still worth playing? I do. It is a 1-of. It is unsearchable, but it is so strong. It is so strong that I feel it still warrants being played. I still play the Thousand Eyes Restrict. I still have Raijin in here. I still have Kaliga in here. I feel that it's still worth playing because you get a lot of mileage out of it. It puts a monster on board and it can do several things. So I feel like for now it's worth testing out. It's worth seeing if it's really worthwhile. We're going to test a lot more games with it and we'll see if it's worthwhile. The Mind Control Standard, one of my favorite cards in the game. Then some stuff I'm not super happy about. The 1 copy of Mystic Mind. We're still playing it. I didn't want to play more than this. I thought about it, but 1 was fine. It gives you that main deck card that says, okay, do you have an out to it? Okay, you don't. Okay, it's game. So that's why we played it. I mean, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of this card, but again, I feel it's like a necessary evil, this format. Then, of course, Terraforming to search Meltdown or Mystic Mind if need be. Then for the traps, of course, Triple Evenly. I think this card is still insane in this format. I feel it still needs to be in your main deck or your side deck somewhere. And this deck just loves playing this card and then just, going off and just game. You don't have to... You literally set up a Macabre with hand traps after this and the game's over. So Evenly is broken. Just so good against back row decks and good against like every deck. Just breaking boards and baiting the gates. And then the One World Legacy Secret. Like I said, Monster Reborn can really mess your opponent up when you have Morningstar, this, Indigo, and other MEKK-KNIGHTs. They just can't play. So I want to test this card out more. I really liked it at the YCS. I liked it. It was okay at the UDS, but it was way better for me at the YCS. So for that reason, that's why I'm playing it. So that's it for the main deck. It's 42 cards. Like I said, preliminary build. We'll just go to the extra deck real quick. Of course, shout out to Dad. You already know. Got 2 Macabre. That's standard. Don't need 3. 1 Purgatrio because you only summon it when you're going for game. So I'm not 100% sure on this, so the reason why I put this in here is I kept it in here because I felt like as an instant fusion target option, it was good to have. The problem is I'm trying to think of how many wind monsters will actually be in the game. I think if people try to pick up the Samorg deck or anything like that, there's going to be enough winds to warrant it, but time will tell. This card is kind of sensitive in the sense that I don't know if it will stay in the deck, but for now it's in there. We could definitely change it for another Link or something else going forward, but yeah, that's why I just played that. And then I've got the one Kaliga. This card's just really strong. Not only an instant fusion target, it's easy to make, good against Shaddolls. Makes it so your opponent can only use one monster effect, can only attack with one monster. This card's very good. Also really good with Cross Sheep. And then I am playing the Thousand Eyes, so if we end up cutting the instant fusion, obviously this card will leave the deck, but for the time being, I still wanted to play it. Instant fusion, if you see it, it makes Thousand Eyes, makes a column for your MEKK-KNIGHT. You might be able to reuse it with Cross Sheep. I just looked at all the pros and all the cons, and the pros won, so that's why I kept it in there. But like I said, time will tell if we make a change to that. But that's it for all the fusions. On to our links. Of course, the one card Macabre play. You guys should know the combo by now. I've gone over it a million times. Probably one of my favorite cards in the deck. Card is still insane. Card still makes Boral Sword. You notice, like, even though it's Master Rule 5 ready, like, it doesn't matter. Like, Cross Sheep is still broken. Like, there's no reason to not play this Link monster. There's no reason to not play any of these Link monsters. All these Link monsters are crazy, actually. The one Mad Invoker, it's just, there's no reason to not play it. It's still broken, too. Like, the thing is with this deck is you can put a bunch of fusions on the board without Link monsters, but this lets you search Invocation, and also, the reason why you play this is if you don't have Alistair, but you make this becomes Alistair. And then you're no longer hindered by the Link arrows. So you can literally, if you make this, you can make one of your fusion and put it anywhere on your board. So that's the reason why I'm playing it. And then one Morning Star, it goes with the trap. It's pretty strong. And then the generic links, standard. Like I said, this is just like very basic because like even though you have like synchro options, all these options, like we don't really synchro in this deck. We don't really need to exceed in this deck. The only other option people were talking about is playing the Wind Witches, but I feel like those can be bricks too, but it would warrant playing Raijin, so we'll see with more testing. So I just keep it very standard. And then of course one of my favorite links ever, you guys already know, this card's just insane against back row decks. I think it's still really good this format. And then the one Kill Shot, there's no reason not to play it. Cross Sheep makes it so easy to make that there's no reason not to play it. But yeah, that's it you guys. That's version 1, the preliminary build of my MEKK-KNIGHT Invoked deck. Hopefully you guys do enjoy. As always, if you guys are trying to build this deck, use my TCG player link. It's in the description below. A portion of what you guys spend during your time will go back to the channel. It helps me out and I do appreciate it. Be sure to come through to my streams, you guys. I stream right here on YouTube. I haven't made a Twitch yet. Time will tell once I get a little more smoother with streaming if I will actually go to Twitch. I probably will one day. So I'll keep you guys updated at that. But you guys will get notified as long as you got that bell on. You guys will get notified whenever I upload. But I really do love MEKK-KNIGHT Invoked. It's easily one of my favorite decks. I think going second decks are just fantastic. I love the whole strategy behind them, and I think that there's definitely a lot of potential for this deck. And like I said, this is just the first build, so there's a lot of improvements to be made, a lot of testing to be done. And come to my live streams, and you guys will see me play this deck online, and I can play against you guys as well. I've let you guys know what my dueling book is, and you guys, every time you come into the stream, you guys will see it. It'll be on for the first like couple minutes before we get started. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Share the video with anyone that wants to know any updates for MEKK-KNIGHT Invoked, and I'll definitely be bringing more of them to you. One of my favorite decks. We're never going to put it down in Master Rule 5, Master Rule 6, whatever the hell Master Rule it is. As long as I got Alistair and MEKK-KNIGHTs and Invoke cards, I'm going to keep playing it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.